Let's go.
Got my hand.
Yep.
Good. Is it good?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Some wheels have bat pins. Okay. If you look at the brown and the orange bats have different options. Okay. They're for different sizes of wheels, but only one fits. If you look at the edge of them, there's one nub and there's 3 nubs. We want to use the ones that are 3 nubs. Okay. Those are the ones that will actually fit. And so you take your bat pin, put your fingers over those holes, and then just slide your finger out once it's on. Okay? And make sure it's secured, because it will find at the least opportune time to come off if it's not. And it will take the water bucket with you and splash over your friends, and you'll have less friends in the world. The splash pans come off nice and easy. Okay? It's a 2-part system. On the Pacifica wheels and the Brent wheels, the bigger splash pan, you can kind of see there's a thickness and thinness right here at the rim. The thick one goes closer to you, so the bigger one goes close to you. Pull the little one all the way towards you, it sets on nice and slides away. If you try to do that in the middle, taking on and off, it's hard. Okay, I own one of these wheels. It took me 3 years to discover that. You're welcome for the little insight there. It's going to save you some time. The wheels over there, sloppiest, worst splash pans ever invented. Okay, they will go flying across the room, guaranteed, in the next week. There's little bolts, and there's a little dome in the splash pan that they need to fit over top of. Try to make sure they're aligned. If they're not aligned, the wheel will grab the splash pan and fling across the room. Okay? On the kick wheels, the big part of the pan comes off, and the little part, a lot of students will just clean the big part of the pan on the wheel and take the little pan to the sink, okay, to clean it. It's probably the easiest to do, and you'll learn how to clean things as you go along. Don't use paper towels to clean. Use a sponge only, otherwise we waste a ton of sponges. Okay. All right, so once we're set here and our wheel is on and we're good to go, the next thing we need to talk about is our chair. Probably the most important thing to learn how to throw is positioning of your chair. Okay. If your chair is too tall, you're going to be at the wrong angle. Okay. These chairs are great. If I'm throwing a big piece, I can ratchet that chair up as my piece gets taller. Okay. But I want to have it at the right height. And so for my own personal amusement, I love these chairs because students have trouble getting them to go down. And so you have to give them a quick jerk to disengage it. It's not about pushing it down and then it will just drop magically. Okay? But if you push on it, it won't go down. Okay? At that point, you can raise it a little bit at a time so that it's even with your wheel. Okay? So on the electric wheels, we want it even with the wheel. The kick wheels are a different story. We'll talk about that later. How you sit on that chair is also important. I should not be able to see your chair. Okay? So I want to see you covering up the edge of the chair. When we throw that clay down, we should be able to be tight with that clay. Often I see kids too far back. Think of it like you're riding a bull. You want to get up on that thing tight. It's going to buck you off if not. Okay? So if we're doing the low rider thing, okay, it might look cool, but it ain't going to be cool pots. Okay? So we want to be uptight to it. So everyone's going to demo with me here. Put your right elbow on the inside of your thigh. Okay? Put your palm facing out and away from you. Okay? If you are able to put your hand right against the clay, you're good. Okay? If not, you need to scoot your chair up. A lot of you, I'm going to tell to scoot the chair. There, keep going. Okay? Our left hand, when we center it, locks in behind our thumb. Our fingers come together, and our elbow drops down on our knee. Okay? Always want to have our arms on our legs and our hands touching each other. Okay? So that we're leaning. Okay, you can stop. So the first thing and the hardest thing of pottery is to get it centered. As a beginner, you're going to spend lots of time learning how to center. I'm going to say as a timeline, you've got 3 weeks just to learn how to center. Okay? So all the other things that come after the stage will probably happen after 3 weeks go by. Okay? So expect some struggles here for the next few weeks. If you get it, great. Okay? But it takes a while. You can look at the advanced students. They're all nodding their head going, oh yeah, I remember. I thought it was easy. The big guy made it look easy. Okay, I'm going to do one pot really fast here because I want you to see the whole process. Okay, I'm going to walk through it really fast, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a slowed up version talking about the nuances that go in between. Okay, so the first part is we center it. Once it's centered, we're going to cone it up and down. We're going to cone it twice. If it's over 5 pounds, we'll cone it 3 times. Once we've coned it, we're going to get it centered perfectly. Then we're going to drill it. We're going to stop a 1/2 inch from the bottom. We're going to open. We'll compress the bottom. We're going to claw pull it. Then we're going to finger pull it. Then we're going to take our train stick, turn the bottom. Then we'll take our cutoff wire or mouse. We call them a mouse simply because at the end of the year we find about 20 of these in cracks and crevices. And when we clean up, and we'll run it under there. I'm going to cut this in half simply because I want you to see the cross section of it. Okay? So if you look at the cross section of our bowl, okay, it should be the same thickness throughout. Okay? You're shooting for about 1/4 inch. This is a little bit thinner than that. Okay? But 1/4 inch thick throughout and a thicker bottom down here. Okay? 1/2 inch thick. You can't make it too thick. Okay? You can make it too thin, but not too thick. What will happen with that is you will throw what's called a foot on there. And so the foot does a few things. One, it removes some extra clay, so it makes it lighter. Two, it gives it a pedestal to sit on so that it kind of lifts off the table as opposed to looking like it's stuck to the table. So visually it does something. And then third, it gives us a stopping point for our glaze. So this orange Shino glaze has to stop 1/4 inch from the bottom. And so rather than an arbitrary just stopping point, it gives us a point visually on the form for that visual point to happen.